and welcome back to the Client Code podcast. My name is Carol Kabale, and today we have Rachel here with us. Rachel, welcome to the Client Code podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited. This is going to be a great episode. I've got goosebumps, actually. That's how good I think it's going to be. It's going to be great.
Love it. Love the energy. Bring it.
We have a recurring tradition around here, Rachel, which is I ask every single guest the exact same question, which is, what is your unique client code?
My unique client code is understanding what kind of pain people are in as it relates to their careers. How did they get there, and how do we get them out as quickly as possible?
Yeah, that sounds delicious. It sounds like things we need to know. Yes. Time to get a pen and paper. I know you. You didn't get one in the beginning. Go get one quickly. It's fine. We'll wait. I love that. Okay, so let's say because you help high performers who are like stuck in their careers, correct, Rachel?
I help high-performing professionals who are in soul-sucking careers move to soul-aligned work and still make a great income. So what does that mean? That means that understanding how did you get to a place where you are so disconnected from your work? How do we get you back, or how do we get you into a new room where you feel intellectually stimulated, where your skills are being utilized, and where you're lit up by the community around you?
Okay, I love that. Let's say I'm stuck. I'm listening to this podcast. I've clicked on it because I identify with everything you've just said. What advice would you give me as someone who is stuck in this career? What is the first thing I should do?
The first thing is acknowledge it's okay to be stuck. There is a reason, a season, or a lifetime for a job. You don't have to be in this job for a lifetime. You just might be in this job for a season or a reason, and you're going to figure out an exit plan. So instead of stuckness really requires or kind of feeds on this forever mindset. So the first thing is to say, I'm not going to be in this forever. So to give yourself some permission to change.
Okay.
Once you've given yourself that permission, then it's okay. Well, let me be a little evaluative. What's my favorite part of my day right now, and why? Okay, my favorite part of what is your favorite? Let's use you as an example. Just go with an example.
Guinea pig. Why not? Okay. I love my mornings. I'm a sucker for a slow morning where I don't have to rush and I can, in the afternoon, start my day with what I want to do. I'm not an early riser. I used to hate when I had a corporate job because it was an hour and a half away and I had to get up an hour and a half earlier just to make it there. And then there was traffic. Oh, I hated that. So I love a deliciously slow.
Okay. I love that. What are you doing during this morning?
I start off by showering. I'm not going to lie. I need a shower. It like zens me out. And also you need a shower twice a day. I'm just putting it out there. I don't care what your reasons are for not to, but I'm changing your mind or not. You need to shower twice a day. So that's number one. Then I usually listen to a devotional, or I listen to a mantra. I listen to something to center myself. I go and have breakfast. I go to gym. I come back. I shower again because 2 showers. And then I start my day. Then I make a coffee. I sit and I start my emails. And I feel like it's more relaxing for me that I'm not like shoved into something, like being forced to be on. And I think my clients, as well as people around me, tend to get the best out of me because I am already slower and I'm not like go.
Okay, so this is beautiful. What I'm hearing, and this is a big part of what I do with people, is a lot of clarifying what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing with you is that you need some spaciousness, you need some time to yourself, and that is when you are going to be the most productive.
Correct.
So whoever's listening right now, thinking about what are the things that I need either to start my day or I need in my day to make me feel connected to what I call the 3 C's: community, contribution, or challenge.
Okay, community, contribution, or challenge. So what things are going to connect me to those 3 C's?
Exactly. And so for you, you already have, it sounds, cracked the code, to use your words, the client code, cracked your own code on I need a slower morning. Sitting in traffic is not working for me. Well, for those who are listening and you're sitting in traffic, you're like, well, that sounds nice, but I'm already sitting in traffic. I'm already doing this thing. Again, we are not trying to get you out of this job tomorrow. That would be nice. We are stepping into awareness of if I can start to understand what is going to light me up in terms of pace, community, contribution, challenge. Then we can start to what we call job shop or reverse engineer your job. So
I
let's get
like
into
that.
the day itself. What are you actually doing with the day that makes you feel confident, in flow, excited about what you're doing?
So most days I tend to create. I help a lot of clients create ad campaigns and I get to be very creative. I also get to be very strategic. I get to think about how does this going to work and how is that going to work? How can we use another piece of tech? It's very interesting to me to use different fun things. And I also, one thing I've liked about being an entrepreneur is just that I get to the freedom it gives me. Like you mentioned, the spaciousness, the ability to have time and do other things rather than work. If something comes up, I have time to be there for people in my family or in my community rather than having to ask for time off, like
Okay.
that. Yes.
Right. So I'm hearing your values of autonomy, creativity, being available to your family are very important to you. And if those aren't being met in a job, they are very much going to cause you to feel disconnected from the job, frustrated, potentially resentful, all of those
Yes.
things. So for anybody who's listening, what are the values that you know you need to bring to work or to your life? And how does work fit into those?
I think for myself, if I had to use myself as the example, values I really care about just in general are like honesty. I like honesty. I like consistency. I like what you get. I lead with like my heart on my chest. Like what you get is what you see kind of thing. I don't like fake people. I don't like people who are pretentious and who are like have some agenda. Like there's no agenda. Let's just get on with it. And I don't like lies. Those are big values for me. Like family is also a big value for me, as you mentioned. And I like to be comfortable. I ain't gonna lie. Like the universe did not put me here to be poor.
Okay, so again, I'm back to hearing these are the kinds of people you want to work with. This is the kind of community. This is the kind of client that you're drawn towards. Well, if
Yes.
we look at you, and most people who find me have something entrepreneurial within them. That word is can be loaded at times because it's like, well, what am I going to do? Quit my job and start something new? You might start something as a side hustle. You might start something with a little bit of, oh, let me actually just that everybody has problems that need to be solved. Everyone on the planet has problems that need to be
Yes, they do.
solved.
Yeah.
And a big part of I really believe, like our fundamental job as humans is to figure out how can I uniquely help solve someone's problem?
Yes.
How can I ideally get paid for it or barter or experience value from it? And how can I potentially find more people to help who have the same problem?
Makes sense.
That
Makes
kind of
sense.
word, the word is scale, right? How can I
Yes.
scale?
How can we grow, amplify?
How can we grow? And when do I feel like I'm contributing the most? So if we use your example, right? And this is, so we can either do this for our days right now. I'll stop using you as an example. Although I think there's a lot of rich content here. I will have, ask anybody who's listening to think about writing down the last 48 hours, the professional tasks that you've done.
Okay.
Put it in an Excel, put it in column one. Then next to it, write what percent of time you spent doing that. And next to that, write what percent enjoyment you had.
That's a big one. Yes. I
Then
like
you
that.
can start to see, oh, wow, I was commuting 80% of my time and I hate commuting. Okay, well that's part of the job right now. Great, that's data that the next job that you get or the next time you're looking or when you're connecting with people or networking, actually I'm looking for a job within this radius. So we have to start calling it out what we're looking for. We kind of see jobs as like I ask everybody, how unhappy are you in the job? And people say generally they come to me like 20 to 40% happy, which is quite low.
That's rather unhappy. I don't know what
Rather
the pass
unhappy.
rate is, but that's rather unhappy.
It's rather unhappy. And then I'll say, would you stay in a marriage that was 60% not working?
Yeah. No, we're going to have to fix that. We're going to have to
Would
work
you
at
live
it.
in a, you have to work at it. Exactly. Would you drive a
Yes.
car that was 60% falling apart? Or
No,
live
I
in a
value my
house?
life too much.
Right. So there's a disconnect with work where we think, well, this is just how it has to be.
And it
As
really
opposed
doesn't.
to it really doesn't. So and when I tell people my goal is to get you to 80% enjoyment, I'm not going to get you there tomorrow. You're not going to get there tomorrow. I mean, that would be nice. But we're going to get a 25%, then 30%. And a lot of that is self awareness, understanding what lights you up and why, what doesn't, what have been your favorite roles, who have been your favorite bosses, what was actually the quality underneath those people.
Yes.
And how were they aligned with one of three areas? Not just the community contribution and challenge, but how were they helping you develop skills that you want to get better at? We all want to get better at things.
Yes.
How were they helping you solve an intellectual curiosity that you have? What I call a dinner party conversation, something you're drawn to naturally. And how were they aligned with your values?
Yeah, we want to find people that bring us up and add to us, not really bring us down, right? I'm just curious because I want to not use myself as the example, but something that's come into my head is, when is the right time to quit? Because for me, as the example, sort of to speak, I just quit one day. It was too much. Like you said, the work I was doing, although it was great and it was like on paper, I had this brilliant corporate job working for this wonderful hospitality group. It just didn't align with my values. I was living past my families, particularly my husband. I was living past my friends. It was just not great. It wasn't great. And I just quit. So how do we know when we should quit? Because by the way, I just quit without a plan. It all worked out. That was 9 years ago. So it all worked out. But for someone who doesn't want to do it like me and just sort of quit and then figure it out, what steps could we take to better prepare for that?
That's exactly what I do not advise doing, by the way. But good for you.
Okay.
I'm so
Do
happy
not
it
do
worked
that.
out for you. I say we do not quit without a plan.
Yeah,
We
do
not.
as I say, not as I do, because it was bad. There was debt. But as I say, it all worked out. But don't do that. I also advocate, don't do that.
Well, let's think about how we could have done that a little bit differently, or how someone who's listening and really wants to quit yesterday. Generally, we need to know our 2 to 3 reasons that we're staying in an uncomfortable situation.
Okay.
It's money, it's routine, it's insurance, right? And again, it's not forever, but that's what's keeping us right now. I literally just had a call with a client this morning, and she said her favorite part of her day is her cup of coffee right now in the morning. And she has a job where she can go afford a nice cup of coffee, and that's what she does. And it just sets her warm and fuzzy up for the day. Okay, well, that's a long day if that's what's kind of motivating your day. But that is one thing. So let's kind of have a practice of gratitude.
Yeah.
When we come back to your situation, it's important to understand that generally a change with a lot of applied self-introspection, which is what lights you up, why, how long have you been lit up for that? If you think about your body, what it helps you expand, these kinds of principles.
Yes.
There are generally one of 4 outcomes that are going to happen when you start to get aligned. Because I'm a career coach, but I'm really an alignment coach.
Which is great because it's the best of both worlds. Hire one, get one free.
I'm a therapist by training. So when people come into therapy, exactly. So when you come in, I'm depressed, I'm anxious, something is off with either your expectations, your values, your relationships. Of course, that's why you're coming in.
Yes.
So when you come to a career coach, you're saying something is off. Great. So let's get to what's off as quickly as possible. For me, I call it asymmetry. I was presenting a certain way online and to audiences and in public, but internally I was feeling quite differently.
Yeah, I can see how that can be an issue. Yeah, that's not great.
And so rather than quit, it was research, it was understanding who's doing what I do, it was understanding the financial projections, researching programs, understanding what are anything from if you have to go back to school, the debt payoff plan. I left with a 5-year financial plan for myself. Very different than you.
Yes. Thank you.
Also, and people say, oh my gosh, you took so much risk to do that. It was a calculated risk. It was a well-researched risk. Life is full of risks. I mean, you buy a house, you buy a car, you're taking a risk. So when we make a career change, we want to think, what is a calculated risk? And very often what's the scariest is that you're risking it on yourself. So much fear comes up, so much self-doubt.
Yeah.
And for you, I'm hearing that it was, I'm all in, let's go. But you probably had a lot of inertia, a lot of energy, a lot of technical skills, or you were developing them, or a vision for yourself.
Yeah, my vision was I didn't want to be there. I was like, my vision for myself was I want to create what I've created now. I was like, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to find something that allows me to not have to be at work until 9 at night, to not have to come in on weekends, to not like, I was just looking for the opposite of that. And I got here. Again, don't recommend. Do what Rachel is saying. But if you have done what I've done, let's say someone has already done what I've done, like they've pulled the trigger, they're in the situation. What is the easiest way for them to establish what to do next? Like how to get like a job or move into the correct career quickly?
So this is when you reverse engineer and you rewrite your own job description for yourself. So look at the last 5 jobs, or look at the 5 companies that you were excited about that you wanted to grow into. And you cherry pick, I want to be this, I want to be this, and I want to be this. Which one are you going to start with? Okay, I got to build a website first. Okay, I got to build an ideal client. You were talking about earlier, I was thinking about your ideal client. Okay, I got to understand my pricing model. Let me meet with 3 other coaches who are doing that, right? So then all of a sudden you are actually generating the path. When you get to a job, they say, here's the onboarding, here's the company culture, here's this. You were creating that for yourself.
Yes. So by the time
That's
it's
the
created,
intention.
it's exactly what you wanted.
Exactly, and you're being very intentional about it.
Makes sense.
And even before the call, we were talking about how, you're going to go this way, you're going to go that way, you're going to join this networking group. That doesn't feel right, right? So it's all of this awareness with the end goal in mind, whether that's a financial end goal, the client, the ideal day. I'm never going to go back to having an hour and a half commute and working for somebody else and their vision of me, right?
Yes.
Because I think more and more, especially with what you're in a different country than I am right now, our global economy, all of that, we can just be so much more self-selective than many of the corporate jobs. And I actually think this is really a trend going on. There's nothing wrong with corporate. For some people, it works great. I get here, I do this job.
I think COVID was a great time. I mean, obviously it was terrible, but I think it was a great time for careers because it just expanded the possibility of what is out there and what working looks like. I mean, now more than ever, we have people who work remotely. I mean, I'm on the other side of the world, you're on the other side of the world, and look, we're making it work. And I feel like before this forced moment, this was like a very, this is not possible idea, or this is for a very elite group of people. And like, how can it be for me? So I'm always very thankful for the opportunities that have now arisen from, this terrible thing, at least something positive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's how we
I wouldn't be where I am right now without it.
Exactly.
But you know what it did though, Carol? It created spaciousness. Very often, if you were not sick, if it was created, oh wait, the job's not making me come in. What am I going to do with my extra time? What do I actually enjoy about my day the most? What meetings am I checked out of and why? The minute you check out of something, and we're all checked in and out of different things, let's be honest, there's data right there.
Yeah. And there's people like, I noticed it in myself and like my husband, like I could see, because he was still obviously in his job, like I could see like him not having to be there in a meeting and that he was just more productive. Personally, I think like that's where we all learned this could have been an email. No one had to sit in the office. Could have easily been an email. I don't know why we're talking about it. So yeah, I love that. Before I let you go, I need to ask you 2 quick questions. Last one. What is something that if someone is listening to us right now, you are like, if you take nothing away from this conversation, take this, use this?
Every company on the planet has a mission statement. I want to implore you to create your own professional mission statement.
What do we do with it after we create it?
You put it on your LinkedIn, you put it on a business card, and you start attracting all of that.
It's like a billboard for what I will and will not stand for. This is who I am. This is what I aspire to. Do you match? No, you don't match.
Exactly.
Goodbye.
There's somebody else out there for you who does.
Okay, that brings me to my last question, which I ask everyone, and it's kind of my life mantra, which is what you don't change, you choose. So Rachel, what are you choosing today?
Intentionality.
Okay. Do you want to share a little bit more what intentionality looks like for you?
My intentionality is that the whole world is so noisy. You probably have like 50 emails waiting for you. I have that, etc., etc. The more we can choose to be intentional with, here are the 2 to 3 highest priorities for me, whether that's current clients, current projects, family obligations, that is where my attention is going to go. And everything else is going to become secondary. And I need to feel comfortable with letting those things go not be a priority right now. That's the intentionality.
I love that. That's so good. Everything else is noise. Let's be intentional and let's move the needle forward. I really do like that. I love it. Okay, that brings us to the end. Rachel, where can the people find you? What do you want them to know? This is your time. Tell them everything.
Thank you. So I work with a select group of clients who are really ready to get focused about making a serious change in their careers. We identify if we're going to have you stay where you are with a different focus, start something new just like yourself, create a whole new career for yourself, go fractional, but it's all about you do not have to suffer through your career. And so with that in mind, I offer a one-time 90-minute high-stakes career audit where we make a game plan for you. And you can find out more about that on my website, madeformorecoach.com.
That's going to be in all the things. Go look for it. Up, down, left, right. All the things are going to be there. Make sure you go and follow Rachel everywhere. Rachel, thank you so much for sharing this space with us. Thank you for teaching us. I feel like I learned so many things that I want to apply into my own business, especially this mission statement little tidbit. We'll go put it nice and big on my
I have mine right here. I literally have my mission statement up. I have it right here.
Oh, I love that. Okay, no, now I need to print it out and put it here. Okay, I love it. I am
Print
going
it
to
out,
go and
write
do this
it
today.
out.
That's
I
my
would
goal.
happily work with anybody on their mission statement. And generally, your mission statement is I help these people do this thing by doing this thing. So mine is I help high performing professionals trade this by doing this.
Okay, that was a bonus tidbit. If you stayed this far, you are the real MVP. Thank you so much for listening and for grabbing all the little nuggets. But honestly, Rachel, thank you so much for being here. I really did appreciate it and I loved it so much. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of another episode on the Client Code. My name is Carol Cavale and I will see you on the next one.